Hey Aries, welcome to your October monthly intuitive reading. Thanks so much for tuning into my channel. If you are coming back, then thank you, and if you are new, then welcome. Make sure you go ahead and hit subscribe so you don't miss any future updates. So if you are an Aries sun, rising or moon, then this reading may resonate for you. We are also going to be doing an extended reading, which you will have the opportunity to purchase, and it will go into the narrative in a little bit more detail. We will also cover a specific message for those of you in relationships looking for love, if you have a specific question or focus around career, and also a message to soothe your soul through the month of October. So to go ahead and purchase the extended reading, all you need to do is just look for the arrow that's next to the description below the video, and it will bring you up the link to go ahead and buy from my website, romywyser.com. So thanks so much for being here. If the reading does resonate for you, please drop me a like or a comment. I'd love to appreciate your feedback. Thank you for your support. Let's go ahead and get started and see what's coming out in October for you. So we're into Libra season for you right now, which is 7th house activity Aries. So there's a real focus right now on partnerships, relationships, both personal and professional in your world. And as we approach the new moon on the 28th of September in Libra, there is going to be an opportunity for you to really rebalance an important relationship or connection in your world, I feel. There's a really harmonizing, gentle and optimistic energy that surrounds that beautiful new moon that's going to be really supportive to how you are moving into the month of October with regards to relationships, Aries. So we begin your reading with a Knight of Swords coming in. So this could be an air sign that you're dealing with, Gemini, Aquarius or Libra. If this is the embodiment of you, Aries, I feel like we are starting the month with a sense of drive and initiative. And actually, as we move into Libra season, it's a cardinal energy. And I think that that new moon is really going to bring about a renewal in terms of your motivating energy. So you feel very directed, is what I want to say, towards what's on your agenda, what the goal, what the outcome is. This air energy that Libra's bringing in and then emulated in the Knight of Swords, I feel is helping you to just clear the path and cut through something. I feel for some of you there may be some news on the horizon that feels like it comes in perhaps a little bit unexpected. There's somewhat of a surprising quality with the new moon in Libra on the 28th. With the narrative that takes place with Uranus. So you might find, just as we enter into the beginning of October, something's coming up that was slightly unexpected, but I feel like you're in a strong position to be able to receive it, whatever's coming in for you, I feel, Aries. Now there's a lot of interesting activity for October. We begin the month October 3rd with Pluto moving direct. Now Pluto's been retrograde since 24th of April. It's moving through the sign of Capricorn at the moment, and it is hitting your 10th house. So in this period of retrograde in the last few months, it's really been asking the question, what do you want, Aries, and why? And I feel like in those longer term goals and ambitions, particularly as it hits your career 10th house activity, how you want to be perceived reputationally. But I think as it's been in retrograde, you know, and Pluto works with the shadow side, it's really been asking you to do some soul searching around that particular area of your life. So as it moves direct, there should be a little bit of lightness coming in around that and the opportunity for you to integrate some of that wisdom and understanding. So we have Page of Swords, we've got more air energy coming in. So I think just what we were discussing there about the fact that there's incoming news or some kind of incoming change, and it feels very swift. So I think the turnaround that's happening at the start of the month is almost preparing you. And you know, we have a full moon in your sign in October, Aries, which is coming in on the 13th. So the release that's going to be asked of you around that full moon energy is about, in some instances, how you are expressing yourself, okay? So Page of Swords delivers new ways of expressing, new ways of communicating. And it feels to me that you are cutting through something and being able to release maybe an old pattern, an old way of looking at yourself, or how you feel you need to come across or communicate. So I think there's some changes that are going to be presented around that full moon for you. But it's also a really powerful time for you to be able to stand up and communicate your truth. And I think that's really important. You have a powerful platform, for me it feels, with these energies coming forth, Aries, to say what's on your mind, to be counted, to stand for something, to make a stand for something. And I feel, I don't know, in some instances it's like you're garnering support as well around you. So I think for those of you that are very focused on a specific goal or outcome at the moment, maybe you're working on a project, or there's some sort of group activity or alignment taking place, I feel like you are pulling in the resources, and you know, you have the ear of people right now, is what I want to say. You might come up against, I want to say, maybe some slightly aggravated energies with just what I'm picking up with the collective energy of these two cards. So I just want to say, don't be surprised if maybe there's a little resistance, but in some ways I think that's actually going to serve you, Aries, because I think it's going to make you get even clearer about what it is that you want, or how you feel about a certain situation or a certain relationship. Remember, if we're in 7th house activity at the moment. Now Mercury, planet of communication, is moving into Scorpio as of the 3rd of October as well, same day that Pluto goes direct. So this is, I guess, for some, not the most direct upfront type of communication, and we're in Libra season, so there's that sort of quality of kind of sitting on the fence somewhat, and I feel that maybe that could rile you a little bit, and maybe this is where this resistance is coming in. So just be aware of the energies surrounding you, and that maybe if you're trying to have that more direct, honest conversation, I guess maybe there's some different agendas going on, or there's even that capacity for some slightly passive-aggressive energy as well, as Mars moves into Libra, in terms of the communication or the way things are being expressed to you, or the way you are receiving information. So 9 of Wands coming through, and I think that this is a really important message for you in this month of October, Aries. This is about perseverance. This is about charging forward. You've got that Knight energy helping to really bring in an initiative and a sort of dynamic, and it's very supportive of that cardinal energy of Libra. So I feel that this 9 is saying it's not the time to give up, it's not the time to be distracted, it's not the time to put something down and redirect your energies. This is all about call your energy back in this month, Aries. That's what I feel I want to say to you. This is about where has it been scattered, you know, who or what has been draining you. Under that full moon, it's the time to release that and then step back into your power zone, so that you can charge yourself up again for, you know, that final push. And, you know, as we move from 7th house into 8th house activity, when we hit Scorpio season later this month for you, Aries, you are going to be doing some of that deeper transformational work, and you know, it brings up a lot of the unseen, a lot of the hidden stuff. And so I think it's important that you are almost putting yourself in a position of as much I don't know, I want to say like this sort of stoic balance and sort of preparation in some regards, so that you can meet that kind of energy head on and do the work that's necessary to be able to, you know, to move forward on your path. So we also have Venus moving into Scorpio as of the 8th of October. Now, because we're looking at a lot of 7th house activity for you, Aries, okay, which is a real focus around partnerships and relationships. And then we have Venus moving into Scorpio, who wants to be committed, who wants to see the loyalty, who wants to see and feel and experience that real sense of devotion. So I think as well, for some of you, you may be questioning. I think that Nine of Wands rather is almost perhaps bringing up an element of not doubt, but just you feel like you're having to go back over everything again. And maybe there's a slight sense of tiredness or weariness around that too. But I do feel that we are getting clarity in the situation. Well, I say clarity and then we pull Seven of Cups. So to me, be careful, Aries, that we don't spend too long in this kind of wondering whether it's all worth it, wondering if you have any more to give, wondering if what's the real reason I'm here. You know, back to kind of what that question that Pluto was asking, what do you want and why? I think that's probably quite a strong theme for your October, Aries. And what that seems to bring in is an element of choice, but also an element of you feeling maybe somewhat confused about what the options are, what is being presented, what's real, what's illusion. And so maybe you have that kind of period, particularly around that sort of full moon, when you're doing a lot of work and, you know, it's really being powered up, being in your sign, but then there's a lot of focus on self and identity and that real sense of questioning. Now, I feel we have real forward movement through October, Aries. So the kind of the dilemma, if you like, is that I feel that things are moving more quickly. We're moving at quite a pace. And yet maybe there's part of you that just needs to kind of stop and stand still and say, I just need a minute. I just need a minute to refocus and realign my thoughts here before I take that next step. And I think that's important. Okay, exactly. So we have Hanged Man. So I think that you will find through this month of October the need to pause, so that you can actually tap into your spiritual center. Both Seven of Cups and Hanged Man allow us the opportunity to really connect in with our own divine light and to look at things from a kind of slightly different perspective. And I feel that honestly this Hanged Man is more of a self-imposed pause rather than you feeling blocked or delayed with anything. Okay, Aries, for me this feels like you might be the one just saying, I just need time out, or I need a moment, or just before I make this critical decision or this big choice, or I choose, you know, to express or communicate my perspective or my point of view, I just need to process and make sure I'm fully aligned with that message. And I feel that that's important, because what I'm going to say is that the conversation that it feels to me that you need to have, or the words that need to be expressed, have real weight and power this month, Aries. With that full moon in your sign, it feels like what you are delivering and to whom, you know, especially around that 7th house activity, if this is a significant other or a key professional or personal relationship in your life, like what you have to say has weight and power. And so you need to think very carefully about how you are choosing to express what comes next, because it feels like the ripple effect to that for you and others is quite significant. Okay, that said, I have the sense that that impatient quality that is natural to you, and actually part of why we love you, Aries, because you just have the motivation and the drive to just push forward, could also see you take that moment of spiritual stillness, I want to say, okay, and understand what it is that you want to say and what you need to say, and then perhaps still have a moment where you go down a different route for some reason, okay? That's coming through for some reason. So, but everything in its divine timing and order. So even if you feel compelled to do that, I think it's still because there's something to learn or something to gain from that. And I think with that 8th house activity coming up in Scorpio, it's probably because you need to take yourself somewhere, or to be triggered, or to understand something else that wants to come into the light for you, okay? So we have King of Swords, another air sign in your reading, Aries. So are you dealing with Gemini, Aquarius or Libra? Or are you coming up against somebody that just feels like they're really closed off at the moment? Either closed off to your way of thinking, to your ideas, to your emotional self. I just have a sense of blocked energy around this individual, and maybe that's where there's a little bit of frustration that comes through, and why the guides are saying that we do just need to take a minute to process how we need to deal with this, because I feel like it also warrants a different tact, a different way of dealing with something, a different approach than what you might have done in the past. You know, this is about understanding and taking what we've learned through the real roller coaster energies that we've experienced in 2019, and saying, okay, if I'm coming up against the same pattern again and again, or if I'm meeting it in, you know, in a different experience with a different individual, but the theme is the same, right? What is it that I need to change within myself, or how do I need to express myself differently, or how can I come at this from a different angle to try and see a different outcome in this? And I think that Libra energy is going to give you an understanding of how to maybe see a different, you know, point of view from it, whether it's that person's, that individual's, or understanding maybe why something has happened in the way that it has. I think if this is embodying you though, Aries, there's this sense of real, I just need to get on with the task at hand. I've got the ideas, I've got the wherewithal, I've got the motivation. I need to just put emotions to one side, and I just need to drive forward. And even though we have some of that 7 of Cups, you know, confusion coming in, maybe there's just a little bit of, you know, is this the right way, and is this what I want? I think the overwhelming energy that's stepping forward is one of just being able to cut through and drive forward, okay? There's quite a dynamic quality to this reading, even though we have that Hanged Man energy. I think that's just why it's almost going to allow you the chance to just slow down just for a minute, to catch your breath and make sure that you're traveling in the right direction, which I feel you're gonna, actually, Aries. Okay, so Ace of Cups coming through, which is a lovely renewal and this beautiful fresh beginning. And I love this coming in as we approach the 28th new moon, 20th September new moon in Libra, which is bringing in such a harmonizing, heartfelt frequency to help restore, I think I want to say, that relationship with self first and foremost, bringing in that, you know, deeper levels, richer levels of compassion and kindness, and, you know, really the idea of being your own soulmate, but also how that then overflows into our life experience. So when we're really at peace within ourselves, and we can really identify with who we are, our place in the world, what we have to offer, and just how unique and special we are, then, you know, our cup does become overflowing, and it means that we can transcend and, you know, cut through and move beyond any blockages or resistance that might be surrounding us. And I think this is probably an interesting message as well if you are maybe dealing with somebody who's a little bit closed off at the moment. I think that what the answer is here is to work on your vibration, because when your vibration is coming from a place of higher love, then it will transcend any lower, you know, any kind of lower, more challenging emotion. And so you'll be in a stronger position. And I feel that you will be able to influence, and that the words and the way that you communicate, even non-verbally, energetically, is just going to hold much more weight and power, okay? I think for some of you, Also, that new moon Libra and then moving into Scorpio time does really bring in, and we're in 7th house, the opportunity for new relationships and new connections that actually feel very divinely timed, very karmically placed, and coming in on a higher level than you will have experienced before. So I think there's going to be an opportunity for many of you to break patterns that you've maybe experienced in previous relationships. So we have another 9 coming in, 9 of Pentacles energy. And for me, like, I feel you very represented in this card today, Aries, and it just speaks to me about that sense of accomplishment after being able to direct your energy, your focus, your thoughts. Remember, Libra's an air sign, so it's all about how we're using that rational mind and really following through with something, communicating differently within yourself. And feeling that sense of accomplishment in terms of where you are and where you've got to at this point in the journey. I think for some of you that feel perhaps that sense of either wanting to break free, to have a sense of independence, or if you felt that you have been independent and you are now really seeking that partnership. I think either way this kind of works for me, because I feel that Ace of Cups is either giving you, that you are your own soulmate, or the opportunity for love to come in and give you that sense of like rebalancing in your world, so to speak. Okay, so I'm just going to take a look at some outcome cards based on what has come up in your reading. See what we pick up, Aries. Oh, lovely. Okay, so your second major arcana coming through for the month of October is coming up with the Wheel of Fortune, okay? And I do think that there is this, I go back to the beginning of the reading, this sort of slightly unexpected quality of what's coming in, okay, for you in the month of October. I feel that you will what it will demand of you is to just stay focused, to choose your words carefully, and also to be in a mindset and an energetic position to really seize any opportunities that come your way. And I think that you will see that. I think that there are opportunities that are coming up, both in terms of love and in terms of advancement in your world, Aries. I think there's a lovely quality of advancement and movement that I see coming through in this reading for you. And I think that there is this message about not giving up and perseverance, and just, it feeling like we're putting the last jigsaw piece into place for something to come to light. And it's almost like this universal sort of divine kind of unfolding that's coming in is sort of waiting in the wings, and it's just that last piece of the jigsaw that comes together. And maybe that's necessary in the pause. So maybe it's the pause that's going to give you that one awareness, that one sort of idea or understanding or breakthrough that then allows this to come into your world. So the opportunity for moving yourself, I want to say up the ladder, or in relationship sense, like taking a huge leap forward, is really present for me in this reading, okay? The swiftness with which you can achieve what you think might take so much longer is apparent, okay? 2 cards came out there, so I'm just going to take them both, okay? So we have 5 of Pentacles and 4 of Cups. And what feels important about these 2 energies coming in, okay, is I feel that this is the Achilles heel to the reading, right? So what you have to be careful of is not moving back into a mindset of lack, of feeling like things haven't shown up yet or haven't come to fruition, or you feel somehow isolated or pushed out. Because when you're in that place of just not fully being present in the moment and aware of what's actually happening around you, there's a tendency to sort of miss what's right in front of your eyes. And there's a kind of ambivalence that's sort of coming into the Four of Cups that I feel could happen if you spend too long deliberating in that Nine of Wands energy as to the point of it all. And you can almost just move into that slightly disassociated, like, you know, detached, kind of like I don't really, I'm not linked into my heart center. You know, so I kind of want to go back down to that Ace of Cups. I think this is like a real linchpin in your reading today, Aries. It's important because this is how you connect into what it's all about, what the purpose is, why things are unfolding. This is the energy that we need to ignite and emanate. This is the frequency we need to be on. And if we're not, and we feel like we're getting sucked into other people's dramas or old ways of thinking, old narratives, then we have the tendency to slip back into these patterns. But I really feel like this is the opportunity for you to be transcending this, Aries. And I think that you're going to do it. So I'm going to just pull us some oracle cards to see how they reflect what we've been discussing. Okay, interesting. So the card of connection comes through for you. We're in 7th house, all focus on partnerships and connection. And I think that, you know, when we link into all the beautiful seashells and the starfish and just the greens and the blues, almost like seaweed and algae, it's very water-based here. Her eyes are beautiful blue. They're clear. They're clear-minded. This is how I feel. Like all this air Libra energy is going to help you to get clarity on what it is that you want and why. The challenge is then, what are you going to do with that information, that wisdom? What is your next step? What is your next step? And that's when that Hanged Man is so important, that 7 of Cups energy. For me, it's about turning to your spiritual self. It's about turning inwards to get the answer that you need before you take the inspired action, Aries. Okay? So, Moon card coming through. Believe in the impossible. This is your full moon this month, okay, Aries? This is your power time. And I think it is important that you are looking bigger. I think that you need to expand your horizons. You need to start recognizing the potential within yourself, the potential within situations that you are in, where you want to see, where you see yourself moving forward. There's a very visionary quality. You know, when I look at the Page of Swords, Knight of Swords, King of Swords, all coming into your reading, you know, these are great thinkers, visionaries, and there's this amazing sort of ability to actually like draw down some like profound insight, I feel, and wisdom. And I think that that's going to be important, not just for you, but actually how you're helping other people as well. Excuse me, I feel that you are going to be laser sharp with what you have to say and how that can help people. So just keep that in mind and make sure that your intention is always toward not only your highest good, but the highest good of everybody around you, because you're holding great power at the moment. And when you believe in yourself and you're in a place of empowerment, then nothing can stop you. Okay, changes. More blue coming in here. So there's a healing quality, I feel, that's stepping into your reading today. But with the sacred geometry here as well, I feel like it's just, It's the reminder to tap into the signs and synchronicities, and that's really echoed with the wheel as well, isn't it? It's about recognizing the spiritual signs as they show up. I can get drawn down here as well, so I want to say, like, we could also be dealing with a Taurus or a Leo energy going on here, and that perhaps some of the changes that are coming up are connected to one or either of those signs for you, in addition to what's happening with all of these air energies in your reading. But we also have the 10 as a number in this card of changes, and the wheel is also number 10. So I think there is a sense of completion shown in this reading, Aries, and a readiness to embark on a new quest and begin something new with fortitude and real direction and focus. I think you're going to have a tremendous amount of focus through this month, which is really going to serve you. Okay, so I hope you have enjoyed your October reading, Aries. If you have resonated, please do go ahead, drop me a like or a comment, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I am going to be taking this reading a little bit deeper in our extended 20 minutes. If you'd like to join me, then all you need to do is just click on the downward arrow next to the video description, and it will take you to the link to purchase it from my site. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull some clarifying cards to see what other messages we're going to be pulling through. So I'm clarifying the Knight of Swords with death. So there's definitely this sense of change and transformation. Could also be dealing with a Scorpio energy here. So Page of Swords, 10 of Cups, another 10 coming into your reading. Could be family related going on here. So that Page of Swords could also be a child that you're dealing with right now, Aries. 9 of Wands. 6 of Pentacles coming in. Interesting. Bringing up those themes of balance. 7 of Cups, Justice, more balance. Wow, could be a Libra energy as well. 9 of Coins again come up in your reading. It's really interesting. King of Swords is pulling the 3 of Wands. Okay, that is going to be a good place for us to explore, I feel. King of Swords again. Okay. Right. Definitely dealing with an air sign or somebody very significant coming into this. 6 of Wands. Okay. Just clarifying the wheel here. Ace of Wands. I love that energy coming in for you, Aries. And the 4 of Cups bringing in the 4 of Coins. Yeah, that makes sense to me, actually. I'm just going to go ahead and pull one more. King of Wands. Okay, that could be yourself, Aries, or another fire sign. That's really interesting. Okay, there's a lot for us to explore here. If you would like to join me, I'm also going to be doing a specific card for those of you in relationships, those of you looking for somebody, and with a focus directly on career. I'm also going to look at a message to help soothe your soul through this month of October as an intuitive guide. It's one of the ways that I always try to help my clients so that we can navigate through these collective energies. So thank you so much for joining me through this October reading, Aries, and I look forward to joining you on the extended if you are coming with me. Otherwise, I'll touch base with you next month.